Alright, I am back. It's time to continue on with Final Fantasy, now that we have become a Scion. As soon as the queue lets me in. Okay, so I haven't been to Camp Drybone yet, so I need to figure out how to get there. Let's see, can we just take a chocobo to Blackbrush? Kind of. I have to take it to Ul'dah first. This fate is always I'm surprised that there's not a direct chocobo path between Horizon and Blackbrush, but oh well. Oh, my kingdom for a mount. Oh, okay. Now I'm gonna burn just a little bit of money in teleport fees, because, I want to double check something. Ooh, 320? Wow. Oh well. Oh, wait a minute. I have the right tickets. I'll burn no money. What that flying nimbus? We'll do this then. You there. Yes, you, the decisively unfashionable adventurer. Come again? Gods be good. Never in my life have I seen such unapologetic focus on function at extreme cost of form. The mere sight of you fair makes my eyes bleed. You're not exactly batting 1,000 here, are you? As a lover of all things aesthetically pleasing, I cannot in good conscience allow you to continue roaming the realm in that sorry state. I'll have you know this is about the best glam you can get at this level. I believe your appearance can yet be salvaged through the use of color. I will teach you how to go about dyeing your outfit, but first I must have a drink. The heat has given me a vicious thirst, and I won't be able to talk for any length of time. Be a dear and buy me a bottle of orange juice at the stall by the northern gates, would you? Once I moisten my throat, we shall see to the business of remediing your appearance. Oh sure, let me insult you and then ask you to go do something for me. It's only 7 gil, why not? Pray tell, have you brought my orange juice? Lest you have forgotten the merchant who sells it can be found just inside the northern gates. Yeah. Whew, that's a relief. Finally, I can teach you how to bring color into your life. Listen well. There are handy items called Colorants, which allow folk to dye their outfits a veritable rainbow of colors. These colorants are so simple to use, adventurers have no excuse to be fashion unconscious. Lest you worry that dyeing will affect your garment's precious properties, you may rest assured it will not. The practicality you adventurers love so much will not suffer for the change in appearance. A change for the better. It should also gladden you to know that garments can be dyed repeatedly, so there's no fear of getting locked into one color. The garish pink that seemed like such a wonderful idea after a dozen glasses of red can be undone. And that is all you need to know about dyeing gear. Now, what are you waiting for? Get out there and bring some color into your life. And that unlocks the ability to dye our gear, in case that wasn't obvious. Oh dear. This will never do. My sense of aesthetics simply won't allow it. How can you go out dressed like that? My dear, if only you'd spare a thought for style and coordination. I hope your garb holds up during a scuffle because there's a loss going for it. That's it, I've made up my mind. From this day forth, I'll take it upon myself to save you from any more fashion disasters. Let me see, so much that needs to be addressed. Where to even begin? Be a dear and get me a drink. I'm feeling rather parched, and this is a matter best discussed over a glass of something cold. Just go to the Pissed Peisty and ask Falkland. I'll have some blood orange juice, and tell her to make sure there's no pulp in it. Now, off you go. Oh, Swergheim sent you, did she? That woman. I've never known anyone so lazy. Would it kill her to come and get it herself? Here you are. You shouldn't let her push you around, you know. Give her an and she'll take them all. So, how's that drink coming along? Here you go. Oh, delicious. Nothing better on a hot day. Some say I have expensive taste, but life's too short to settle for second best. Of course, this extends to my choice of wardrobe, too. Now that I'm feeling refreshed, shall we get started? Do you know, dear, you'd look a lot less drab if you knew how to apply glamours. What's a glamour, you ask? Well, they use a glamour prism as a catalyst to project the image of one item onto another. It's just an illusion, mind, but very convincing. This means the original object stays essentially the same, it just takes on a new appearance, that's all. Remember, if you fancy a change, you don't have to stick with the same glamour. Just apply another one on top, or use a glamour dispeller to return the object to normal. Why sacrifice style for such humdrum trifles as durability or protection from bodily harm? I mean, really, who needs that? Limitless possibilities for self-expression are just a couple of glamours away. Go ahead, give it a try. And do make it quick, dear, for my sake. I'm finding your uninspired attire more and more offensive with each passing moment. One moment, I'm just checking one thing here. Stabber already, yep. Alright, so I was right. This guy over here does actually have a lower level offering for me. I'm guessing I just haven't done something that unlocks it yet. Give me one more moment. Okay, it looks like it unlocks after I complete a level 19 main scenario quest, and we're on level 17 main scenario quest. Alright, whatever. At least I got dyes and glamours unlocked, which is something very important. Dyes are pretty self-explanatory, it just turns your deer a different color. Let's see if I have anything that's actually dyeable. Yes, I do. So, as you can see here, although the whole helmet itself, like, the entire thing doesn't always dye. It's usually always a certain part that dies. Obviously this helmet has some kind of like stripes or something on it, but you can just any color. The other thing, which was the glamours, which is actually more important. So I have this body armor on currently, but I could make it look like it was this if I wanted to by applying a glamour. That's what a glamour is. One other thing that I'm going to do, because I was actually going to do it the last time I streamed, but I got to a point that was a really good stopping point and I just forgot about it. And this is something that you should probably do every day anyway, is your leveling roulette. Now, with that being said, I don't particularly need it. I'm at level 27, doing level 17 quests. But it's better to stay ahead of the curve. So I will go ahead and queue for that. And then we will head back to Camp Grandma. And I can just do other questing while I'm waiting for the queue to pop. Active outfit, yeah, that would probably be about the same thing. Hi, I'm Bard. Here to search for the missing lost folk, I take it? Benphilia sent word that the adventurer fitting your description would be along. She also warned us to be wary of the Amalgam. It seems we know who the culprits are at the very least. Now, I bear no official title at this camp, but the people here have come to look to me for leadership. You have my word that I'll do all I can to help see the victim safely returned. Oh, a glamour dispeller. Nice. And another level up. And still a level 17 quest. Alright, let us get right to it then. Benphilia names the Amalgam Culprits in all this. You would do well to investigate them first. Much harm has been levied on these lands by the Amalgam hands. The flames burn where they might, but their light cannot stay the darkness in all places at all times. There have been brutal murders of callers at the Church of Saint Landama. Innocents wishing no more than to pay their respects to the dead. The poor souls deserve a proper burial. I would see to the deed before mongrels catch their scent, but I know not if the Amalgam still linger. Would you secure their remains for me, friend? You will find them on the eastern road. 12 willing, you may even come to learn something of what the Amalgam seek in this area. Apologize. One moment, be right back. see where I'm going. I'm going down there, am I? Okay. Somebody else is doing this quest too. Yay, ripe corpses. Sadly, this is not the only time in this game you'll be retrieving dead bodies. Snatch them. I was requested to retrieve them. It is good to see you return. Were you able to secure the remains of our fallen? I love how they show up in your inventory, by the way. It's just a flower. Paid body stick. Okay. With the bodies given back proper to the earth, the souls will find their way across to the other side. You have done a noble deed this day. I thank you. Now then, what of the Amalgam? Did you see any? Surely such massive monstrosities as they cannot conceal their presence, much less take their quarry unawares. Ah, so there were Amalgam remaining after all. I feared as much. Their part in the lowborn disappearing is all but confirmed. But I sense there is more to this than meets the eye. The occasional Amalgam raiding party would not account for people going missing in these kinds of numbers. The total is too great and the questions too many. It would not surprise me in the least to learn of another hand in this. But whose? Countless travelers pass through the dry bone every day, and even if it were one among them, how would we best discover who may be implicit in these vanishings? Let's say we turn an eye to the common folk themselves. It may be among them that we find the reasons for these vanishings, 12 forbidden beasts. There is a merchant by the name of Ungust, who was born here in Drybone and grew up in the Golden Bazaar. A rough character, but he knows the people here better than anyone else. I'd wager he's at the inn, quaffing away the day's earnings. Here, I'll write a note for you to show him, else he's not like to speak to you. Oh, it's that D-bag from Ul'dah earlier. Well, gods be damned, you're that bloody adventurer who threatened me back in Ul'dah. What in the seven hells do you want with me now? Dear friend, Belch, missing people, please help. Hiccup, yours, Eisenbart. Folks around here are as rare as they come. They'll turn tail and run if you so much as pass wind nearby. Play them all for fools and coax some hard labor out of them, I did. If anything, they're even more timid than before, what with all the disappearances. You can go talk to them yourself if you don't believe me. This guy's a real piece of work. Please, miss, just leave me be. I have nothing to say but this. Thal take Q, or whatever has been feeding off us low folk. What do you want from me? I don't know anything, I swear. Please don't kill me. I guess he made his point. Just as I told you, wasn't it? The whole lot of them are terrified. Hiccup. There's been talk of folk getting abducted, but if you ask me, they simply up and moved on to a better place. This place isn't exactly Costa del Sol, if you know what I'm saying. Welcome back. Have you learned aught of import? I see. I suppose I should have expected as much from Ungus. Well, another thought occurred to me in your absence. The common folk are nothing if not fervent in their religious beliefs. Perhaps if they speak freely to their gods, then the clergy may know something of use. Alright, and it's time for a dungeon real quick. And yep, keep up. Don't really need the XP at the moment, but I'm gonna get it anyway. Tamtara. Yay. Look, it's your favorite squid. No, that's the healer. Without rolling. Okay, whatever. Oh wow, that got me almost 3 levels. Okay. Yeah. That was not much better. Good thing I don't need either of those. If we would know what the common folk speak of to their gods, we've no better place to ask than at the Church of Saint Adama Landama. It is a small and humble church found in the northwest of here. And so long as you are headed there, might I ask you to deliver this embalmed corpse? A morbid request, I grant you. Yeah. But it must be borne to burial, and I trust none more than you to see it done. Seek out a man named Mark. He tends the graves of the Lich Yard. He will tell you where the body is to be interred. Morbid. I am Marks, yes. A body? Of course. There have been so many bodies of late. I apologize, miss. If you seek a place of burial, then there is an empty grave atop the ridge. Take the path and lay him to rest there. Wait, I'm just laying him on the ground? Oh, no, okay. May they all walk in Thal's realm. What, missing people? I'm afraid I cannot help you. But maybe Sister Orson can. She has been kind to me. Everyone has been so kind. I don't know why, though. Pardon me. You will find Sister Orson within the church walls. I hear you have done us the service of burying a fallen soul. Please accept our gratitude and extend it to Isambard when you next see him. You're seeking knowledge of missing drybone inhabitants? It is true I am closer to the people than any other of the Order. I confide in them and they in me. When they wish to speak to their keeper, Thal, I am the medium through which they do. Should I learn anything pertinent, I will be sure to share the information with you. I only wish Marks would be more helpful in the matter. I pray he did nothing to offend. He saw terrible things during the calamity. His scars run deep. Indeed, he seems to now prefer the company of the dead over the living. While tragic, I fear such behavior ill befits the church. I received word not long ago that one of our recent visitors, a man called Thancred, I believe, took offense at his conduct. I must have word with Marks, and soon. Thancred can get over it. Well, that would be spoilers, so I won't tell you what happens to Marks, but you'll be surprised. Thank you. A burial is no easy thing, even when the departed is a stranger. Were you able to learn aught of the missing common folk? You've been keeping yourself rather busy of late, haven't you? Speaking of Thancred. A pleasure, my dear Isambard. The name is Thancred, and I share a passion with you and our mutual friend here for learning what has become of these missing persons and why. I too spoke with Ungist more times than I care to count. There seems to be some truth to this notion of the common folk speaking their secrets only to those in service to the gods. Prostration, prayer, penance, abject deeds done behind closed doors, away from prying eyes. Who better to take the pious unawares than she who takes confession, the good Sister Orson herself? Orson? She wouldn't. She couldn't. Even the most beautiful roses have thorns, my friend, and you would be wise to keep an eye to this rose. Still, the Lich Keeper Marks, I'd swear to the 12 I've seen that face elsewhere before. Sister Orson, it cannot be. Though she is wont to travel to the Golden Bazaar on her own, and it is not uncommon to see her speaking to the children, but no, it could not be she, could it? I grow weary of these suspicions. I know there is one child in particular that she is fond of. Pray seek out the boy and see if you cannot glean something from him about Orson's activities. Thancred's not a stalker, he just... I don't know. Please help. Sister Orson went out all on her own and hasn't come back. She always reads to me right here about Thal and the Order and the other side. I told her I lost my shiny thing and she went looking for it. But what if the monsters outside hurt her? Please find her. Yeah, rescue mission. I mean, we are on the same, in the same organization as Thancred now, so he kind of has a reason to be in the places that I'm at. You are the one from the church. Thank goodness you arrived when you did. It seems my gratitude is yours yet again. You spoke with the child? Yes, well, I was able to find his lost trinket. It is a ring given to him by his mother before she passed. I will see it safely back to him. Sister Orson was attacked outside the Golden Bazaar? As for Finn, I will secure a room at the inn for her should she require any rest. Searching for the mementos of orphans and risking her own well-being in the doing, no was? Certainly not the dastardly deeds Thancred would have us believe. Level 30. Got some job quests coming up to do then. I am well glad I reserved that inn room for Sister Orson. It seems she received greater injuries from her attackers than she initially let on. Thankfully, she is expected to make a full recovery. But now, onto the matter at hand. Thancred came looking for you once more. He left word that he will be waiting at the Amalgam encampment to the southeast. I pray the two of you are able to uncover some evidence regarding these disappearances. Ah, there you are. So good of you to come. Indeed, I've heard all about good Sister Orson. Isambard said her wounds were serious. It would seem my suspicions about the poor Rose were misplaced. But false though they were, perhaps my suspicions were not entirely without merit. Whilst following Sister Orson near the Golden Bazaar, a band of Amalgam caught my eye. I tracked them as far as this encampment, but, well, let us say that I would much prefer to keep my distance and remain here. This, of course, brings me to why I requested you. Would you be so kind as to take a look inside? Sure, I'll go do your dirty work for you. Well, did anything tickle your fancy? This leaflet. See the wealth of knowledge to the hands of your children. It looks to be some sort of assembly to provide the poor with work. The lettering, though, atrocious, is it not? And these bits about Nalthal seem somewhat less than studied. I find it hard to believe one among the Order penned this. Pray take this to the inn at Camp Drybone. Let us see what Sister Orson makes of it. Sprint. My savior comes again. To what do I owe the honor this day? What is this? Blasphemous. These are not our teachings at all. This was not made by any true brother or sister of the Order. Of that I can assure you. Come to think of it, weeks ago the church was plagued by missing garments. Could someone be posing as a priest of the Order to deceive the people? The plot thickens. Our culprit pretends to be a priest to lend credence to his deception. There is no doubt and irony in there somewhere. But I suspect we have a worthy adversary on our hands. I shall consider how best to handle this. For now, tell Isambard what we have learned here. I mean, it's a church for the poor. Not exactly sure they can afford a security guard. Posing as a priest, to think. These troubling notions aside, it is gratifying to finally be able to move this investigation forward. Thank you once again. I shall keep my eyes and ears open, now more than ever. I'm afraid I have not seen any unusual activity, nor have any at this camp given me cause to doubt them. But unless we can identify the culprit, and soon, more innocents will fall victim. Do not despair just yet, my friend. An idea occurs to me. Our suspect has been posing as a priest, using leaflets bearing false promises to lure the poor. Like Kuroka and me serve like with like by posing as impoverished souls in need of succor. I dare to hope that this will yield us the answers we seek. It will be a dangerous undertaking, but you two are more than capable of looking after yourselves. I'm next to useless in a battle, but I can supply the garments for the disguise. These old tunics and slops should serve your needs, so long as you don't mind the smell and the stains. These will serve very well. You have my thanks. Listen, Kuroka, so as to lay the foundation for our little ploy, we must make it widely known that more vagrants have arrived at camp and are desperate for coin. To this end, I want you to don the old garments Isambard has lent us and beg for work around the camp. Before long, the false priest should catch wind and approach us. Greetings, good madam. Is there aught I might assist you with? Oh, I don't believe there is. I'm afraid our wares are very expensive. Mayhap you should rejoin your fellows out at the pond north of Sandgate. I preach the teachings of Azema, the warden. Hast thou come to partake of the honey of her wisdom? Azema is the keeper of the sun and goddess of inquiry. All is laid bare beneath her the light of her divine countenance. Open thy heart to this light-needing child, and thou shalt mourn for naught till the end of days. Is there another one in here that I didn't talk to? In the other building. It looks like, oh, I bet it's up top. Okay. Yeah. I remember the first time I played through the game. This one took me a little bit to find. Didn't realize there was a little thing up here. What is it? Gods, not again. Look, being poor doesn't give you the right to pester whomsoever you like. Why don't you keep with your own kind out by that muddy pond of yours at Drybond? And you are? Another refugee by the looks of you. The immortal flames have neither work nor coin for your like. Be gone and see to it that you don't make a nuisance of yourself. And I was about to get to the good part. Looking for work, you say? Sorry, but we don't have any openings. Now get out of here so I can finish my story. You have quite a knack for being a nuisance, Kuroka. The camp is abuzz with talk of newly arrived vagrants. And though we were unable to attract our wayward transgressor, we were able to learn that the poor have a commune by the pond north of Sandgate, to the east of here. The eyes of the authorities do not reach that place, rather ideal for spiriting away hapless souls. Let us go there and wait for the kindly priest to come and offer us aid and comfort. Needless to say, you'll need to remain disguised. Noticed you haven't changed your clothes, Thancred. Oh, he did change them. Okay. A fine evening for catching false priests, wouldn't you say? You look absolutely smashing, positively dressed for deception. All that's left then is to wait for our quarry to appear. Oh, you poor unfortunate souls, this is no way for men to live. No way at all. Who are you? What do you want? Be at ease, child, for I mean you no harm. I am a priest of the Order of Naldthal, and I come to offer you succor. This leaflet bears the teachings of Nald. Trust to them, and they will surely set you free from the shackles of penury. Don't know that word. A tempting offer, but I'm afraid I must decline. On account of that atrocious performance, you would have made a god's awful mummer, August. Well, what? How did you know? You bastards tricked me. But please don't hurt me, I was only doing it to protect my people. Is that so? Do continue. But very well. I'm a man of the Golden Bazaar, raised there, if not born. Some moons ago, the Amalgam raids began. They would appear sudden as a sandstorm and plunder and pillage at will. Our defenders couldn't stand against them, few as they were. Everyone lived in fear. I wanted to save my people, but being a merchant was all I knew. And so I did the only thing a merchant could. I approached the Amalgam in hopes of brokering a deal. In return for sparing the Golden Bazaar, they made demands, outrageous ones. Demands? Of what kind, pray tell? First of all, they wanted the schedule for crystal shipments from the Nanawa mines. For this, I bribed one of the workers to leak me the information. Next, they wanted me to bring them people, so I posed as a priest to lure in the vulnerable and give them over to the Amalgam. I didn't have a choice. Protecting one's home is a noble thing, but at the cost of innocence? You could have sought the aid of the immortal flames, yet you did not. I suspect you are not telling me the full story. What made you sell out your own people? Speak! The mumble was good. What did you say? The coin was good, I said. I could sell mole meat for a score of lifetimes and not see even a fraction of what the Amalgam pay me. You sacrificed innocence so that you could line your own pockets? Words fail to express the contempt I feel for you. Spare me your contempt. If you want to blame someone for the mess the world's in, then blame yourselves or the gods. Ah, not you again. Were you the one leaking the Immortal Flames patrol routes to the enemy as well? Spit it out. No, I know nothing about that. I swear it. At this stage, I'm rather disinclined to believe aught that leaves your mouth, but no matter. There will be time enough to learn the truth. Sob. Yeah, don't even bother crying. Groka, be a dear and take word of these developments to Minfilia, would you? I shall prize everything I can out of this filth. The abductees are still somewhere out there. Our foremost priority is to rescue them. Oh, now that I don't actually have to be in my tattered clothes anymore. Welcome back. I am pleased that you and Thancred have been getting along. I see. You have done well to uncover the truth. My thanks for the report. As Thancred said, we must ascertain where the abducted were taken, and none but the Amalgam know the answer. Suffice it to say that they will not willingly part with this information. I fear blood will be spilled before all is said and done. Though we seek a peaceful solution to the primal problem, we must needs be ready to fight for our cause. That you might take to the field suitably prepared, I would have you meet with a goblin acquaintance of mine. His name is Munimix Bubblypots, and he is a scholar of no small repute. Munimix is renowned for having introduced a revolutionary method of enhancing equipment to Eorzea. The knowledge of his method was once a closely guarded secret, but thanks to Munimix and his students, it has now been disseminated to the great benefit of all the realm. It would serve you well to acquire an understanding of the process. For this purpose, I shall lend you a blade. Take it to Munimix and bid him use it to demonstrate his craft to you. Munimix is ever to be found at his camp in central Thanaland, a place known as the Bonfire. Look for a pillar of smoke and the way will become clear. Check one thing. like I mentioned earlier, this guy does have a lower level quest available. Hail there, adventurer. I am Nedrick Ironheart, an explorer by trade and a Scion by allegiance. And you, my friend, look to me an adventurer in need of a challenge. I happen to know just the place that will offer it to you. Tucked away in a corner of eastern Thanalan lies Halatali, and it is there that you will find all the excitement you crave. The place boasts a storied history. It was built some 100 years ago, past as a training ground for gladiators. The calamity laid ruin to it, though, as it did to most things. Now Halatali is a shadow of its former self, but in the dark of that shadow lurk wild beasts, both bloodthirsty and beyond count. For one such as yourself, I dare say there is no place finer than Halatali to test your skill and refine your technique. Indeed, I've taken the liberty of passing your name along to the flames who oversee the place. Should you visit, speak with one Fafa Joni near the entryway. Who is Uplander come to tent ring of Munimix bubbly pots? Fighty Tool drinks in airy self. Okay. Yeah, these people talk weird. When full of airy self, Fighty Tool changes to Stony Shine, name of materia. If materia joins with other Fighty Tool, then Big Eyes, Fighty Tool gains the power of airy self. Unimix is reckoning that Uplander is friend of Midphilia. Yes, tongue flaps reach ears of Unimix with fastness. Midphilia wants Uplander to see power of materia. Uplander brings Fighty Tool to Unimix, yes? Fighty Tool is unstrong as Eating Tool. Make good Teachy Show power materia. The Materia Master. Now Eyes of Uplander point at Fighty Tool, yes? Materia join with Fighty Tool. Fighty Tool gains power materia. Fighty Tool reborn. Here, Uplander take Fighty Tool to Minphilia. Materia, strictly speaking, is a kind of crystal. It is created by drawing out the etheric constituents from a piece of equipment and then crystallizing them. Not just any old equipment will serve, mind you, it must have sufficient spirit bond, that being a measure of how fully an item has been imbued with its owner's spirit. When you attach a piece of materia to gear, you imbue the host item with its power. That's how Master Mutamix turned that dagger of yours from someone who would have struggled to cut steak into a weapon worth wielding. Uplander wishes to be joiner of materia? Then Uplander best fill brain case with knowings of crafty making. With knowings of crafty making, Uplander can become joiner of materia. If Uplander wants brain case to rattle with knowings of materia, Uplander must best trade tongue flaps with learning ones of Mutamix. I forget what these guys are called. I think they're goblins, actually. But yeah, that's how they talk. You'll see them throughout the storyline. Let's see what this guy wishes to disseminate the secret of materia creation. What would you say if I told you that inanimate objects can possess a soul? They can, believe it or not, although the soul in question is not their own, but that of their owner. Throughout faithful service, the arms and armor that we use come to hold our spiritual energy. Thus do we form a spirit bond with them. This spiritual energy can be drawn out and converted into materia, a special kind of crystal that can be attached to gear to enhance its properties. I am well versed in the ways of materia extraction. If you wish to learn about the process, it would be my pleasure to teach you. You are ready to commence your learning? Good. As you will have gathered by now, materia is the crystallized form of one spiritual energy. As this energy is derived from an individual's psyche, a volatile beast at the best of times, a degree of variance is to be expected in its production. In practice, this means that you won't know the exact properties of a stone until you cradle it in your hand. Now, materia won't grant you much of anything on its own. Its power must be tapped, see? And this is achieved by melding it to gear. Know, though, that it takes the deft hands of a craftsman to meld materia. You can always seek others to attach materia on your behalf, but if you would sooner do it yourself, I recommend you speak with Phobos. Melding is her field of expertise. Actually, I'll just teleport. Why not? Well, this game runs on crystals, basically. You'll get a better idea for that in a little bit. But, crystals everywhere. What I was gonna say, though, is, while you were gone, and I came back to Vesper Bay, that guy that I thought had a mission for me earlier, it did finally pop up, so I went ahead and picked that up, which is this one right here, which is the first optional dungeon of the game that you can get, so we'll be doing that momentarily. Most dungeons come via the main storyline, but there are a fair number of optional ones as well that you have to unlock. Welcome back. I trust your visit to the bonfire proved fruitful. What a remarkable difference a single piece of materia can make. Granted, the skills needed to manipulate the substance are not easily acquired, but one need only look upon the results to realize such efforts are worthwhile. As I'm sure you're aware, the quality of one's equipment can be the difference between victory and defeat. Materia may well give you the edge you need, so make it your ally. Now it is time we discuss the matter of your next mission. Pray speak with me when you are ready to begin. Well, no, it's well, here. So right now, as you're aware, I have Satasha, Tamtara, and Copperbell. These were unlocked automatically simply by doing the main quest line. These are what you would call story dungeons. There are also other dungeons out there that are unlocked by doing side quests. Completely optional, don't have to do them, don't even have to unlock them if you don't want to, but they're there and you can. Ophelia would like you to assist the Immortal Flames. Word has arrived from Thancred concerning our ongoing investigation. It appears he was able to extract some information from our friend Ungust, the false priest. He revealed that he is due to meet with the Amalgam to discuss their dealings. The Immortal Flames believe that the meeting will present an ideal opportunity to ambush and capture the Amalgam responsible for the abductions, and so they mean to have Ungust attend as planned. As the Amalgam are anticipated to offer fierce resistance, the Immortal Flames have requested our support. I would have you provided to them, Kuroka. Thancred is presently attending to another matter, but he will join you as soon as he is able. Until such time as he does, you will be the Scion's sole representative on the ground. It's a trap. Before he left, he bade me to tell you to save some for him. Such is his confidence in you, a confidence I share. When you have made ready, pray take yourself to Camp Drybone and report to the Flame Sergeant leading the mission. May you walk in the light of the crystal. And back to Camp Drybone. Okay, first thing we're going to do from here is head down and fully unlock this optional dungeon. Where's Akbar when you need him, right? The halls of Halatali you seek, you need seek no further. Permit me to tell you something of this place. The name comes from an ancient tongue, Halatali meaning the land of many shadows. It was here that our distant ancestors first settled, and you've not come all this way to burlesque in history. Listen, do you not hear the howls and growls? Do you not feel how they shake the very earth beneath you? Those sounds are the work of no wind, my friend, nor that rumbling the doing of any shadows. Those are the calls of Halatali, for now the beast once kept the Colosseum wrecked here. And these are no gentle beasts broken by the hand of man. No, there are those within that even the might of the immortal flames cannot tame. From the look of you, you must be Kuroka. I received word from Nedrick that you might be along. By his recommendation, I grant you leave to enter freely. I only pray you are able to find your way out. And if I remember correctly, the main story quest is about to pull us into something, so I'm not going to queue for that quite yet. My kingdom for a mount. It's soon though, it's coming. Ah, you're Kuroka the Scions? My thanks for coming, friend. We're stronger for your assistance. Allow me to brief you on our mission. Our objective is to capture Amalgam and prise from them the whereabouts of the abductees. The lizardmen aren't aware that their man Ungest has been exposed. When they come to the rendezvous point to meet the traitor, we'll spring the trap. Owing to the clandestine nature of the mission, we can deploy only a small contingent. Every member must count, and so we requested the aid of the Scions. The rendezvous will take place at the Invisible City. Please make your way there and lie in wait. We stand to learn much and more of the Amalgam plot if the mission succeeds. Let's make sure it does. Yeah, this is what I thought it was. Alright, let's do this. Is the bait in place? Our man is in position, sir. Good. We make our move as soon as the Amalgam appear. Yes, sir. was amiss. Hehehe. Ha 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 ha. I'm afraid your little ambush ends here. I eluded the Immortal Flame's clutches for moons before finally being caught. Did you not wonder how I managed it? It was almost as if someone was feeding him information from the inside. Your every movement was known to me ahead of time. Now, as much as I'd love to chat a while, I have appointments to keep. They're all yours. Put up your weapon, or your comrade's a dead man. Behind you! A sleep spell. Bring her. The rest of you, march. Traitorous scum. I fear the Amalgam mean to give us to their god as an offering. If I must die, then let me die a soldier's death, with steel in hand. Here we go, our first trial. which I'm gonna have to wait for Q-Pop. So, anybody else out there? How are you doing today? Let's see. Damn it all, a traitor in the flames. What has become of us? I'm sorry you were dragged into this. Were I a better judge of character, we wouldn't be in this mess. The lizardmen marched us to their stronghold. They're preparing for something, and I for one do not want to be around when they finish. They're going to kill us, aren't they? Gods, I don't want to die. I want to go home. Listen well, these waters feed into the marshes of Drybone. A short swim will see us to freedom. However, if all of us attempt to flee, we are like to be discovered. You alone must sneak out and assemble a rescue party. Once you have won free, seek out our comrade stationed at Drybone. He will show you the way back here. May the 12 speed you on your way. Nah, we'll just wait for the key to pop. Although I did not know that that was an option previously. The lizards claim that they will soon bring us before Ifrit for tempering. You're not seriously considering locking horns with the devil now, are you? They say no one who enters the Bowl of Embers leaves with their minds intact. Why do you think you will fare any better? Rejoice, heathens, for your worthless lives shall soon have meaning. That's what they all say. Oh, there's somebody else here doing this at the moment. An Arcanist. Yep, an Arcanist. Living that DPSQ life, let me tell you. Oh, that was fast. There we go. Lord of the Inferno, hearken to our plea. Lord of the Inferno, deliver us from our misery. Did you guys have to be poets? Really? O mighty Ifrit, Lord of the Inferno, your humble servants beseech you, grace us with your divine presence. O mighty Ifrit, we bring before you ignorant savages who know not your godhead. If it please you, Lord, scorch their heathen souls with your cleansing flame and mark them as your own. Bloody hells, bring those two as well. But what's going on? This isn't what we agreed. Oh look, the backstabber's getting backstabbed, imagine that. None but the servants of Lord Ifrit may behold the rite of summoning. The soul of unbelievers are forfeit. No, spare me, I beg you. Pitiful children of man, by my breath I claim you. Arise once more as my loyal minions. Feed my flames with your faith, and all who stand against us shall burn. Almighty Ephraim, my one true God. Your words are my bread. Impossible! By what sorcery do you resist my master's will? Could it be? Your soul already belongs to another? Yes, that is the only explanation. Forsooth, thy frail mortal frame can serve as a vessel to the blessing of but one. Yet I smell not the taint of another upon thee. The truth of thine allegiance waxeth clear. Thou art of the godless blessed's number. The paragons warned of thine abhorrent kind. Thine existence is not to be suffered. Like we had somebody who didn't want to wait through the cutscene. And it's the healer, so we have to wait now. Great. Oh, that Arcanist that was out there with me is in here with me now. There we go. Let's do this. Chance to limit break. Well, it actually doesn't even let you start the battle until everybody's out of the cutscene and ready, so they basically left because they didn't want to wait, because they couldn't start or anything. And we get our second crystal. Pray forgive my lateness. Why should we, Thancred? Tell me, why should we? I was delayed by a congregation of Amalgam zealots. I swear, each seemed more evangelical than the last. Persistent what? Phew. I see the Bloodsworn wasted no time extracting the captives, no less than I expect from the Flame General's hand-picked men. As for those two, it is fair to say their hardships have only just begun. They have much to answer for. I feel I owe you an apology. Had I known this mission would prove so dangerous, I would never have left you to face it alone. You have been given a veritable baptism of fire. But let us continue this conversation in more agreeable surrounds. Camp Drybones, shall we say? This way, sir. So that was the mighty Ifrit. And what a disappointment he was. The readings are nowhere near what I anticipated, even taking Ul'Dan and interference into account. You should know better than to rely upon 5-year-old data left by the 7th Legion. Nor can we expect any form of support from the motherland given the troubles at court. We have only ourselves to rely on. Ever the pessimist, my dear Livia. Promise me you'll never change. We have wasted enough time here. That meter of yours is too old to give any reading worth a damn. Not that there was aught worth a damn for it to read, but I take your point. I suppose we must content ourselves with the knowledge that we've achieved our primary objective. Yet I find that I am troubled by that adventurer's unexpected show of strength. Can such a foe prove a hindrance to our plans? Perhaps, but that is a consideration for another time. You have been given a task. That is your priority. I suggest you treat it as such. Fail to do as my lord commands, and off with your head. I mean, what? And I will spare him the trouble of punishing you. With allies like that, beware a woman in love. I shall need to be on my best behavior. Looks like the Arcanist got out already. Oh, nice. It brings me right back. Sweet. Ah, there you are, Kuroka. Come, rest a while. You have no better opportunity. After witnessing their guild's ignominious defeat, the Amalgam will be less inclined to risk our wrath, for a time at least. Now, where were we? Ah, yes, I was in the process of apologizing. I do hope you can forgive me. I arrived too late to be of any use, to you or the abductees. They may be whole of body, but the same cannot be said of their minds, for once a man is tempered... Ah, but it ill suits me to dwell on the negatives. Amidst all our misfortunes, there is still reason to rejoice. Ifrit is slain, and by your hand no less. That is the deed of no ordinary individual. Not that I ever thought you were ordinary. On the contrary, I have long suspected that you have the potential to shape the fate of this realm. What can I say? My fine eye for talent remains undimmed. Yeah, it's my talent you're looking at, I'm sure. Minfilia will be proud beyond all reckoning when she hears of your deeds. I trust you shan't object to my bearing the tidings to her. That way I can claim to have contributed something to this mission. You, meanwhile, have earned yourself a rest. Take some time to relax and return to the waking sands when you are good and ready. We can discuss matters in more detail then. Just don't take too long, will you? The realm's problems won't solve themselves. A nice pair of talent, yep. Alright, so now we've got that done, we can also go ahead and do our optional dungeon that we got just a moment ago. And in the meantime, where's a vendor? Ah, inside the building, I think. Yep, right here. Repair. Sell off my bronze pieces and silver pieces. Open this coffer that I'm not going to need. That's the exact same weapon. That might be cute if it was a different color. Which is probably why they give it to you originally in an ugly color, because you get it from that quest to unlock dying. Sometimes I think about which is faster, a purchase chocobo or a mount which you get one, or are they the same maybe, I don't know. They seem kind of slow, this slow. Ah, the triumphant hero returns. Thancred told us of the news upon his arrival. He is presently in the Solar, giving a full report to Lady Minfilia. You should join them at once. Lady Minfilia is most eager to see you. My late arrival nearly cost Kuroka her life. I wasn't there when the Amalgam took her prisoner, and I wasn't there when they served her to Ifrit. Yes, by some miracle she survived. But that doesn't excuse the fact that she should never have had to face such dangers alone. I failed her utterly. That stalker. Yeah, the one time he wasn't stalking us. Just as I'm failing you all. What's done is done, Thancred. You can ill blame yourself for every... Kuroka, it's so good to see you again. Impeccable timing, my friend. I had just finished regaling Minfilia with your heroic exploits. Thancred has told me everything. You have done well to return to us. The perils you faced were undeniably great, yet a part of me believes I still had no cause to fear. And now we can put paid to our long investigation. As we suspected, the Amalgam undertook both the robbery and the abductions with the aim of summoning their primal Ifrit. Nor is this tale limited to Ul'dah. Similar incidents have been rife in both Limsa Lominsa and Gridania as of late. I dare say you've been curious as to how these crimes are linked to the Primals. Permit me to explain. Having manifested in the physical realm, Primals must consume ether if they are to maintain their presence here. And the stronger they become, the more ether they require. Now, ether exists throughout creation. It flows through all life and permeates the very air that we breathe. Alas, this alone will not suffice to sustain the likes of Ifrit. Nay, he and his kind require a more concentrated source of ether, crystals. It is for this reason that incidents involving crystals can often be traced back to a primal. Which leaves us with the why of the abductions. To understand this, you must first understand how primals are born. When all is well with the world, primals possess no physical form. Their essence is dispersed across the great river of ether. However, when the world is plunged into chaos, those who worship the primals cry out to their gods for deliverance from suffering. These cries serve as a beacon toward which a primal's essence is irresistibly drawn. It is this coming together, or etheric coalescence, which grants the being's physical form. Once born, a primal gains strength from its followers' worship. The more numerous and fervent they are, the more powerful their god becomes. But the primals are seldom satisfied with such reverence as their adherents freely give, and in order to gain more power, they do not scruple to create followers. They do this by tempering mortals, a process to which you yourself were subjected. Yet, even as Ifrit took your comrades in his thrall, you alone remain unaffected. This is thanks to the power you possess, the Echo. We know not the why of it, but those blessed with the Echo are immune to primal influence. It is as though a greater power protects us. When first you came to us, I told you that the Echo would be instrumental in dealing with the primal threat. I trust you now begin to see why. The recent incidents all share a common trait: meticulous planning. Such elaborate designs are a new development, and one which fills me with an unshakable sense of foreboding. While I share your concern, my presiding feeling is one of relief at your safe return. Ah, the immortal flames assured me that they will deal with the aftermath, so you need not concern yourself with that. We may rest easy for a time. I suggest you take full advantage of the respite, Kuroka. You may be sure it won't last long. Once the people learn the identity of the hero who fell Ifrit, I fear you will have nary a moment to yourself. Whether she intended to or no, Minfilia neglected to tell you something. Something I think it would be best you heard from one of us. It concerns the tempered abductees that were rescued. I am sorry to report that all are to be put to death. The flames with whom you were imprisoned included. Needless to say, this information must not be made known to the public. I swear to you that we would not do this if there were any other recourse. But once a man is tempered, he is tempered for life. His very existence lends strength to the primal whom he cannot choose but worship. And so we Scions continue our fight, that no more innocents need be sacrificed. I hope that you will continue to stand with us, Kuroka. But I should be going. I must offer my apologies to the Flame General for the losses his people suffered. Till next time. Gods forgive me, how many more lives? Louisoix would never have allowed this to happen. I have to do better. I have to be stronger. Perfect timing. Actually couldn't have asked for much better timing on that if I tried. Welcome to Halatali. Oh, he knows how to aggro, but he does not know this dungeon. What are they doing? There we go. Oh, that's one way to do it. to comms. Until not so very long ago, you were but one of the many adventurers seeking to make their way in Eorzea. But for your character and courage, you were raised to the esteemed post of Envoy. Thereafter, you traveled the realm, aiding those in need without thought of reward, confirming to Ida and Papalimo that the Scions would benefit from your aid. And no sooner had you joined us than you personally bested the Primal Ifrit. Yeah, that's right. You have achieved a great deal in a short time, and won fame in so doing. Alas, fame does not come without a price, as you will soon discover. We have guests, Kuroka, or rather, you have guests. Beg pardons. Ah, Lady Minfilia, radiant as always. I am given to understand that the Scions of the Seventh Dawn have but recently welcomed a new hero into their midst. I am here on behalf of the Maelstrom, Grand Company of Limsa Lumensa, to offer said hero a place of honor within our ranks. When did Hulk join the... Wow. Not wrong, but... As you can see, your recent exploits have garnered you the attentions of the Grand Companies of Eorzea. Each organization would have a Ifrit's Bane for its own. To this end, all three have sent officers to court you. They would not ordinarily go to such lengths to enlist a new recruit. That they have is evidence of their high regard for you. I find myself wondering how word of Kuroka's deeds spread so quickly. That the Immortal Flame should know of her triumph is to be expected, but what of the other Grand Companies? Eep! Oh, it's Tataru's fault. Okay. Your reputation precedes you. There's no ordinary woman who can face a primal and emerge the victor. And imagine our pride when we learn that you began your journey as an adventurer in our own Gridania, knowing that the people hold you in high esteem and that you will always be welcome among us. The Order of the Twin Adder has need of valiant women such as you. Join your strength to ours, friend, and together let us ensure that peace ever reigns over the Twelveswood. What a pleasure it is to finally meet you. My comrades speak of you in the most glowing terms. A woman of your talent belongs with the Immortal Flames. Join your strength to ours, friend, and together let us secure a prosperous future for Ul'dah. The Admiral was not exaggerating when she said you have the look of a hero. Full often does she speak of you, friend. It is only natural that we should want you for the Maelstrom. Join your strength to ours, and together let us see the grand vessel of Limsa Lumensa to the shores of glory. Lady Minfilia. Very well. Though I am quite sure you need no reminding, mayhap a brief summary of the situation would help to clarify your thoughts on the matter. As you know, the Grand Companies are all-encompassing organizations empowered to call upon the martial, economic, and technological resources of their respective city-states in times of strife. There are presently 3 such organizations in Eorzea: the Maelstrom of Limsa, the Order of the Twin Adder of Gridania, and the Immortal Flames of Ul'dah. Serving a Grand Company means serving the nation to which it belongs. You will be charged with its defense and tasked with advancing its cause. In return for your faithful service, you will be furnished with various rewards, some of which may well prove useful to you in other endeavors. If you are agonizing over which of the Grand Companies best deserve your loyalty, be at ease. The commitment you make this day need not be permanent. Should you wish to shift your allegiance at a later date, you are entitled to do so, and yet I can see that it is no small choice you face. Ah, a thought occurs to me. You will, of course, recall that the 3 city-states are planning to hold remembrance services. Well, as part of the proceedings, I am given to understand that the leader of each Grand Company will deliver an address. Hearing these addresses are to help you make an informed decision. What say you, my dear officers? A fine suggestion. You are as wise as you are beautiful, my lady. Very well, let Kuroka hear our leader speak, then return here with her decision. We eagerly await your answer. I know full well that the adventurers are by their nature a liberty-loving breed, and not best suited to the discipline of military service, but I strongly urge you to join a grand company nonetheless. While the promise of reward is enticing in itself, it is not the only benefit. You are possessed of a great power, and with it you are capable of doing untold good. Yet know that the great power is wont to attract attention, and not all of it friendly. There will be those who wish you ill, and you must needs be on the lookout for them. Yet however vigilant you are but one woman. In the midst of a grand company, however, you will be one woman amongst many, a friend amongst friends. Your achievements will be shared, and so will the danger. I can think of no better arrangement. Of course, joining one organization need not mean leaving another. I hope that we can continue to rely upon your aid. The 12 know that we will have need of it in the days ahead. Crap. The grand companies seek to protect their own nations. We Scions, on the other hand, seek to preserve the future of Eorzea as a whole. Similar, yet not quite the same. Now then, I expect that you will be afield more often in the future. As such, I will have you carry this link pearl with you at all times. It will allow us to stay in touch regardless of location. Eorzea is changing, Kuroka, and you have the power to help shape it anew. None can say what the morrow will bring, but as long as we believe in ourselves, there is naught we cannot achieve. Now it is time you made ready for your journey. Before you depart, be sure to speak to Tataru. She will appraise you as to where and when the remembrance services are due to take place. Ooh, that was a mouthful. Low-jacked? Yep. Now we get to hear directly in our ear multiple times. Pray return to the waking sands. I'm sorry about all the attention you're getting, Kuroka. I might have sung your praises a little too loudly and often to a few too many people. Ahem, next time I'll be sure to hold my tongue, literally, if necessary. Anyway, I expect you want to know where and when the Remember services are taking place. If all goes to plan, Gridania's Grand Company, the Order of the Twin Adder, will hold the first of the 3 services, and Elder Seedseer Connie Senna will deliver her address at Mikedo's amphitheater. I should probably mention at this point that due to the organizational challenges involved in assembling all the involved parties, it's possible that the order of the services might change. Still, there's not much we can do about that, so make Gridania your first port of call. Next, you'll need to go to Ul'dah, where Flame General Rabban al-Din will be addressing the masses at the Royal Promenade. Oh, and it's rumored there's to be a special guest. How exciting. Last but not least, you must make your way to the stateroom in Limsa Lominsa, where Maelstrom Chief Admiral Merlewib will be giving her address. The room is accessible via the Admiral's lift. Identify yourself to the Sentry Xanthale and he will admit you. Got all that? Well, off you go then. I hope you find the Remembrance services suitably educational. I suggest visiting the city-states in my prescribed order, though with your record of impeccable timing and luck, the schedule may well change in favor of your preferred travel plans. Very well. AKA, you don't actually have to go to them in any order, but yeah. Alright, so I am level 31 now. I need to get some job quests done. Was there a mender around here? Yep, there was. this quest over here. Oh, okay. Broca, is it not? I've been following your exploits with great interest. You have served Gridania well, but I believe your greatest accomplishments are yet to come. It is with such lofty expectations that I would grant you passage beyond our White Wolf Gate. Take this pass and show it to Franchimantio, the gatekeeper. Gird yourself well for the battles to come, and I am sure that the news of your deeds will reach me again before long. Although I suppose that the news of my deeds will inspire you guys to get easier names. It is good to see you again, Kuroka, and stronger than when we last spoke. Plainly, you have devoted many hours to training, which is just as well, for I have a mind to set you on your next task. At the Bramble Patch, you came to grasp the true meaning of courage. I would have you put that courage to the proof before 3 masters of our art. In the many years since they began their training within these walls, these men have led very different lives, yet they share the distinction of being regarded amongst the finest lancers of their time. And just as they once looked to their seniors for inspiration, so too shall you look to them. By availing yourself of their wisdom, you will take another step toward becoming a fully fledged lancer. Your first instructor is a man named Mathuomi. Seek him out at Amarissek's Spire in the East Shroud, where he serves as a frontier sentry. The long years at his post have honed Mathuomi's perception. No detail escapes the man's piercing gaze. Present yourself before him for inspection, Kuroka, and do as he bids you. Quest out of the way real quick. Put some clothes on. Only those who possess a gate pass may travel through the White Wolf Gate. It is for your own good. The fearsome beasts that lurk beyond would tear an unprepared adventurer limb from limb. You have papers? Let us see now. Yes, everything appears to be in order. Go in safety, Kuroka. In the future, should you wish to pass, you need only say the word. I wasn't telling you specifically to put clothes on, but okay. Oh, some hunter's log monsters. Yay. Oh, they're all around here. You must be the young Lancer I was told to expect. Greetings and well met. I am Mathiomi, commander of the brave men and women of Aspire. Now let's have a good look at you. I see you possess strength and skill in abundance, of this there is no doubt, but you still want for experience. Oh, I don't doubt you've seen much and more. Mayhap you believe there is not left out there to unnerve you. Yet the world is wide, and only the gods can claim to know all. You may be assured that the legendary Lancers of old faltered at times. No Lancer nor any man can foresee all possibilities, but he can steel himself for the unexpected. I would have you do just that. Take this bottle of fresh-spoken blood and sprinkle it at the foot of the great tree in the north. Doing so will wear out the creatures of the night, which you are to vanquish. You put a level 50 right next to this place. Come on. Welcome back, lass, and well done. I bore witness to your battle with mine own eyes. The blood bat bewilders its prey with a ceaseless flittering, which makes putting your spear in the beast an exercise in frustration. frustration that may easily have given rise to panic. Yet to your credit, you fought on resolutely and thus emerged the victor. Dwayne has taught you well, young one. You have a way to go, to be sure, but beneath those rough-hewn edges I see the makings of a great lancer. With my blessing, make your way to Buscarron's druthers in the South Shroud. It is there that your next instructor, Buscarron himself, awaits. The man had a unique approach to our art. Though it's a fair while since he hung up his spear, his words are well worth hearing. Indeed, lancers visit him as much for his counsel as they do for his mead, good though it is. By meeting Buscarron and availing yourself of his knowledge, your lance work will surely improve. And for this, unfortunately, there's going to be a fair bit of walking. Because it's sending me to a place I haven't actually been to yet. I was gonna say, it kind of surprised my job quests are sending me somewhere that MSQ haven't yet. But I'm only at level 20 on MSQ. And level 25 on job quests. Oh, visit Yuane's protege. I thought it was about time you arrived. I'm Buscarron, and here's my place. In case you're wondering why old Yuane's sent you, I should mention I've not always been in the food or drink business. Before I opened the Druthers, I manned an outpost not far from here. Any road, between keeping throat sweat and bellies full, I ain't got a great deal of time to chat just now, so if you don't mind, I'll get on with educating you. Now take this nice bottle of full flower mead. Wait, don't open it. This ain't that kind of lesson. No, I want you to make an offering of it at Mistal's Lance, which is a monument tucked away in a rocky cleft to the south of here. See the bottle safely there, complete with its contents, and when you come back, I'll tell you a story. Got all that? Good. Hunter's log monsters. Postmates. Spencer's bottomless cup. So you offered up the meat as I told you, and without drinking a drop? Very well, you shall have a tale of me as promised. Mistel is the man who founded the Lancers Guild, and the monument I sent you to was erected in his honor. Mistel was courage made flesh. Cut him and I dare say he'd have bled the stuff. It was him who first identified the two aspects of a Lancer's courage, as well as how to go about tempering them. And that weren't all he did. Seeing how the art had gone stale, what with our Lancers keeping to the confines of the 12's wood, he sought to bring in new techniques and methods from faraway lands. But Gridania was in a different place in his day. The outside world was a thing to be shunned back then, and non-forest born were considered faithless savages. Aye, it was even worse than now. Of course, old Mistel wasn't afraid to call that way of thinking what it was, a lot of ignorance and cowardice. To cut a long story short, despite a forest full of good old Gridanian stubbornness, he finally convinced the nation to open its doors to foreign Lancers. And by blending their techniques with his own, he gave the world the art which you now practice. To this day, the Lancers Guild accepts students regardless of their origin. That wouldn't have been possible if it hadn't been for Mistel. Us Lancers owe him much and more, and it's our charge to carry on his legacy. Never forget that. Eh? What's that? When's the trial? Wahahaha. Much as I hate to disappoint, there isn't one. Your courage was never in doubt, lass. My part in your training's done. 'Tis time you visit your third and final instructor, a man named Vauclair. You'll find him whiling away his time at the Bob and Cork like as not. Oh, that's the name of an inn in Falgard Float, in case you didn't know. Up in the North Shroud it is. Vauclair's an old rival of mine. Me and him used to go at it till neither man could lift his spear tip off the ground. I warn you, he was a right stubborn bugger back then, and the years ain't done much to improve his humors. So, good luck with impressing him. I guess it's a good thing I grabbed that quest to open up the other gate in Gridania. Didn't realize it'd be sending me that way quite so quickly, though. Oh, that's the wrong gate. I thought that was the right gate. Okay, whatever. love how MMOs are sometimes. Oh look, well, level 3 and 4 monsters. Across a bridge, level 25 monsters! I take it you are the young lancer of whom Ywain spoke, and an adventurer besides by the look of you. I was an adventurer myself once, that was before I became a lance for hire. But enough idle talk, you have come to learn from me, and learn from me you shall. Be warned though that you will not find me as lenient as an instructor as the others. Now pay attention. Thus far you have learned to muster your courage in situations of fear, panic, and uncertainty. With me you will learn to do so in the face of change. The enemy is a living thing, and living things are apt to change. Whatever the nature of that change, a lancer must be able to think and adapt. And to think and adapt during battle requires courage. To teach you the meanings of my words, I would have you challenge a fiery fiend known as the Red Balloon. However, the creature will appear only where there is a raging flame. You may kindle such a flame by procuring 6 fingers from slain balloons, and depositing them at a gutted campfire. This should suffice to entice the Red Balloon. As the battle wears on, the creature's fury shall burn with ever greater fervor until it is ripe to burst in a conflagration of death. Let courage lend strength to your lance and extinguish this fiery foe. Oh, looks like he got his 6 already. Summon the big one. So you have vanquished the red balloon, no less than what I would expect of one of you aims. Your enemy altered its nature throughout the encounter, thereby causing the terms of battle to shift repeatedly. Yet ever did you press onward, your courage holding firm in the midst of constant change. So it was that you emerged triumphant. I am not known for being liberal with my praise, but you have done well. Yours is a genuine courage. Mind you, this does not give you license to forsake your training. You are still but a fledgling among us after all. I have finished with you. You may report back to Yue. And when you do, tell that young upstart that I demand he show his face here from time to time. That's all. Demands I show my face? I can only assume the buxom brunette at the float isn't lavishing him with the attention he craves. Very well, I shall see what I can do. As for you, well done. I have never doubted that you would meet with the approval of all 3 men, yet I am no less proud of you for having done so. You have traveled far along the Lancer's path, and soon you will no longer require my guidance. In fact, you need overcome but one further trial to complete your education here. Do so, and I will give you my blessing to leave the Lancers Guild and embark upon new adventures with spear in hand. As ever, apply yourself to your lance work and return when you are ready for your final challenge. I look forward to our next meeting. Yeah. Purple? I think I'll just take the bandana. Oh, I got some bracers too. Oh well. Alright, so I was originally wanting to complete my job quest so I could actually get my job. However, I noticed what time it is, so we're going to go ahead and do the ceremonies, and then I'm going to have to call it a day.
I lost my son to the calamity.
The 3 Seed Seers are all together.
Some say you couldn't take a step without stumbling over a body. Our forebears were once strangers in the Twelveswood. Fearful of the Green Wrath, they hid themselves in the dark recesses of the earth. Yet they dreamed of basking in the dappled sunlight of the forest. Through great effort, they proved their worth to the elementals, and were granted a place beneath the boughs. So it was that Gridania was born, some 5 centuries ago. Working hand in hand, the Hyur and the Elysian settlers sowed the seeds of our civilization, and soon they were joined by folk of all races. So nourished by the waters of unity, and blessed by the light of the matron, Gridania flourished into the great nation it is today.
Do you see the Gridanian standard? There, hanging behind the Elder Seed Seer. The entwined serpents represent the unity between Hyur and Elysian. An elegant symbol, do you not agree?
In accordance with the will of the elementals, we have embraced a life of peace. Alas, our neighbors have not always sought the same for themselves, nor for us. Though we Gridanians have no love for war, we have still less for those who would threaten our way of life. Ever have we fought to protect the sanctity of the Twelveswood. When the Garlean Empire brought its war of conquest to Eorzea, we rallied under the noble standard of the Twin Adder that we might push back the encroaching darkness. And it was we who prepared the ground for the reformation of the Eorzean Alliance, that all the peoples of this realm might stand united against the common threat. "5 years ago, the Alliance met the armies of the Empire upon the fields of Cartano. It would prove the bloodiest battle in recent memory. Countless Gridanian lives were lost. As Supreme Commander of the Order of the Twin Adder, ever shall I bear the weight of our people's sacrifice. Alas, their loss was not the only tragedy to befall us that day, for soon came the calamity. The scars borne by our forest are a constant reminder of its violence. Our lives have been irrevocably changed, each waking hour a struggle to survive. Driven to desperation, some among us have strayed from the path of righteousness, resorting to banditry, poaching, and other unconscionable deeds. To compound our woes, the Ixal have returned in force, emboldened by our suffering. They test our defenses nigh without cease, and prey upon the vulnerable. So beleaguered from within and without, it is of little wonder that our unity now falters. Dark times are upon us.
Time was a man could walk
Pox
the
on that bloody
highways without fear.
On this day, 5 years ago, countless Eorzeans laid down their lives that we might behold another dawn. Please join with me in honoring their memory.
And how do you propose to honor the memory of those you cannot remember, pray tell?
The destruction wrought by the calamity was indiscriminate. It dealt death to Eorzean and Garlean alike. Yet while we have labored to rebuild our homes, to rebuild our lives, the Empire has set about raising steel fortresses here in the Twelveswood. Let none be mistaken. The Garleans remain the greatest threat to our survival. If we are to stand against them, we must remember what it is to be united. Our many troubles blind us to the woes of our fellow man. Thence is harmony lost. Yet harmony is the founding principle of Gridania. We are gathered here to honor the fallen. Let them be honored not only in word and thought, but through concerted action. I bid you join hands with me once more beneath the Twin Adder standard. And together, let us heal the forest's wounds, that our progeny might live in harmony beneath these ancient boughs. For serenity, purity, and sanctity. We must think of the children!
Woods will be done.
It's up to us to protect the
Follow
forest.
the
elementals!
If you'll permit me, Alfie no. And my sister, Alize, at your service. I saw at a glance that you were a fellow traveler. You might call us students of history, sampling the realm's remembrances in pursuit of enlightenment.
The Gridanians are unfortunate enough to have to contend with two beast tribes. The Ixal are unquestionably the more troublesome, being of a naturally warlike disposition, and want to summon their bloodthirsty primal Garuda. The Sylphs, by contrast, are peaceful in nature, being mischievous rather than malevolent, and have long been on friendly terms with the Gridanians, until recently at least. Alas, they have grown aloof, and a change observed at roughly the same time they summoned the primal Ramu. The Gridanians have no love for war, and they consider open conflict a last resort. Though they clash with the Ixal ever more regularly, you may be assured that they do so in self-defense. As for the Sylphs, they are as yet bound by a peace treaty, though one wonders how long it will be before it is broken. The Twelveswood was grievously wounded during the calamity, leaving Gridania vulnerable to attack. The people are hopeful that restoring the wood, and thereby the power of the elementals, will put an end to their woes. Yet how long will that take? Centuries, I'd wager. Meanwhile, the Ixal will continue their incursions, spurred on by Garuda and her insatiable appetite for destruction. Whether the Gridanians like it or not, sooner or later it will come to all-out war. And when it does, the Order of the Twin Adder will need all the help it can muster. How valuable might the aid of a capable adventurer prove to them then? Well, perhaps we will find out. If the Elder Seed Seer's words fell on fertile ground... Oh, we're just gonna leave a hanging sentence there. Okay. Also, definitely do not miss Alphino and Alize's ARR voice actors. Wow. I'm so not used to hearing that. Alright, hold on. Well, those two are twins. Yes. I'd be willing to bet I need to go here? Yep.
Behold, 'tis the Sultana Nanamo herself!
And Roban as well!
Hark you, souls of flame, drawn to the bosom of the desert, where the fire burns brightest and shall rage forevermore. Hurrah! Roban! Where since antiquity, under the sage and judicious rule of the Ul dynasty, we have wrought sand into gold. Where by the grace and glory of Nalthal have our brave sons and daughters flourished and prospered. I speak of Ul'dah!
Wow.
There, at the Flame General's back flies the Grand Company's standard. Note the sigil. The golden scales of order balance the jewel of prosperity with the flame of might.
Great and many are the gifts our nation has given the realm. In Eorzea's darkest hour, on the killing fields of Cartano, none spent more in blood and gold than we. Thus was the 7th Imperial Legion laid low.
So that's how it happened. How soon history forgets.
Yet many left our gates, never to return. Let us pray for our absent brothers and sisters, that they might know happiness in the great beyond, as Thal's honored guests. If the fates were fair, the price we paid that day would have bought us victory. Alas, they are not. And now, but 5 years into this 7th Umbral era, the spirit of sacrifice which granted us our strength is all but dead. Look around you. What do you see? A people divided, downtrodden, and enthralled. Where are the merciful alms of the rich? Where is the just steel of the righteous? I ask you, is this the great nation our brothers and sisters gave their lives to save? You who call this living, dishonor the name of the immortal flames. It is but a slow death. Our enemies surround us. The savage hordes of the Amalgam wait beside our roads, strangling the lifelines of trade. Meanwhile, the Garleans make mock of our borders and despoil our land of its natural wealth. We stand on a precipice, yet we do not act. Whether trader or soldier, monetarist or royalist, all must recognize that a divided Ul'dah stands to fall. Victory and fortune walk hand in hand. Ye who seek glory and wealth, look not to what little you can snatch from your neighbor, but to the boundless wealth of the world beyond. Now is the time to unite. Now is the time to ride forth. In the name of the Sultana, I beseech you, line not your own coffers, but those of the immortal flames. Seek not to prosper from Ul'dah, but to restore her to prosperity. As the realm prospers, so shall Ul'dah. As Ul'dah prospers, so shall her people.
Ya for Ul'dah!
Together we are one.
Your Grace.
Raoban? People of Ul'dah, I, Nanamo, 17th in the line of Ul, address you. Much has been made of the wealth of Ul'dah. Yet those who measured that wealth in coins and carats are gravely deceived. For the true wealth of Ul'dah lies in the health, happiness, and hopes of her people. Beloved subjects, I bid you raise aloft the torch of Ul'dah, that her flames might serve as a beacon for all Eorzea to see.
Long live Nanamo!
Glory to the Sultana!
For victory and fortune, stride fearless into the inferno, for we are, by fire, reborn! Forsooth!
The time is now!
Fancy meeting you again.
The Uldans have a long history of conflict with the Amalgam, the beast tribe that worships the primal Ifrit. Judging by your look of distaste, I take it you have encountered them. The Uldans do not shy from confrontation. If aught threatens their precious prosperity, they will seek to crush it. So have they dealt with Ifrit thus far, smothering his flames each time he is stoked to life. Yet he is but one of several problems. Though they have been quiet these past 5 years, the Garleans have not gone away. Meanwhile, refugees continue to arrive in droves, and Ul'dah has no clear policy on how to deal with them. After all, not even the Sultan's coffers are bottomless, and even assuming that they had the coin, resources will ever be finite. Which brings me back to the subject of Ifrit. It has been observed that the Amalgam are summoning him with ever-increasing frequency. Every time they do so, the Uldans send their forces to smite the Primal, and though they invariably succeed, each victory is bought with blood. It is a war of attrition which they cannot well sustain. Small wonder then that the Immortal Flames are eager to recruit more members. At such a desperate hour, an adventurer of your experience would be a most welcome addition to their ranks. on to Limsa. Here to attend the remembrance service? Be quick, the Admiral is due to give her address at any moment.
The Garleans are another matter altogether.
So much for our alliance.
It's sunk beyond the seabed.
Brothers and sisters of the sea, hearken unto me. Look upon this, our mighty crimson standard, and tell me your hearts do not swell with pride.
Bad.
700 summers
Bad.
have come and gone since our forefathers first ran aground in this fertile bay. In that time, guided by the Mother of Oceans, Limsa Lominsa has grown from humble fishing village to uncontested ruler of the 5 seas and beyond.
Did you look as the Admiral bid you? It is a rather stirring standard, I must say. The crimson field is meant to signify the blood of fallen crewmates, while the black longship represents a pirate vessel.
When the Garlean Empire marched upon Eorzea, we assembled beneath the Maelstrom standard, and our grand company was reborn. All answered the call, from the Knights of the Barracuda to Hilfir's bloody executioners, and together we met our would-be conquerors upon the field of Cartano. That day, the world bore witness to the united strength of Limsa Lominsa. I swear to you, no army ever fought harder or with more courage, yet many of ours did not survive. Join me now in remembering those who fought in the name of freedom and fell. May their souls be returned to the sea.
Freedom. Yes, they have always been rather fond of their freedom. Much as the beast tribes have. Small wonder. Beneath the surface, one would struggle to tell them apart.
It has been 5 long years since the calamity struck. 5 long years of tireless rebuilding. Yet still the wounds of the calamity fester and weep. But when I stand atop the mizzenmast and gaze out upon our battered and broken vessel, I see an undying spirit. Did we not build all this from the wreck of the Galadian all those centuries ago? Shall we not do so again? Yet there are those who would see this ship of ours sink beneath the waves of the restless Rotano. The Sahagin creep ashore seeking blood for their accursed god.
Those fishback
The Sahagin
bastards.
have risen?
While the mines of Ogomero spew forth kobolds who push ever south, despoiling our lands as they go. These savage beast tribes will be the first waves to crash against our creaking hull. And behind them swells the grim tide of the Garlean Empire. Even now, the curs fly their flags within our borders. Doubt not, but that they will be upon us ere long. We are well nigh surrounded. Yet there are those among us who would rather turn their swords against their crewmates than our cannons against our foes. How can we hope to repel our many enemies when mutiny breeds below deck? There is but one course left to us. One bearing that will bring us victory over the beast hordes and the Empire both, and see this ship safe to port. We must mend the rift the Calamity has reopened twixt Pirate and Maelstrom, and stand fast with our adventurer brothers against the coming tempest. Mark ye well, a crew without unity is no crew at all. 'Tis but a mass of drowned men. To me, then, brothers and sisters of the sea, gather beneath the undying crimson standard and pledge me your strength, your skill, your wisdom. And with the guidance of the navigator, this great vessel of ours shall ride the waves till sea swallows all.
Long live the Admiral! Admiral Merlin!
Gather the lads!
Oh, where's me cutlass? I'll follow ye to the seven hells, Admiral!
Fancy meeting you again.
As the Admiral mentioned in her address, Limsa Lamensa is plagued by two beast tribes. The first are the fish-like Sahagin, worshippers of the primal Leviathan. The second are the kobolds, who dwell beneath the earth and take the primal Titan for their god. As if the beast tribe's presence weren't troublesome enough, the Garleans have also chosen to erect a fortress right in the Limenson's backyard. And that is to say not of infernal strife. As a nation of pirates, there is no end to the blood feuds between the various factions. And while they fight amongst themselves, the Garleans whet their blades and watch. If the Lomensons are to have any hope of withstanding the Empire, they must first resolve their own affairs. Differences must be set aside and the primal threat dealt with once and for all. To this end, I expect that they will soon take decisive action against the beast tribes. Mark my words, the Maelstrom standard will be drenched a deeper shade of crimson ere long. That a capable adventurer like you would be a valuable addition to their crew is beyond question. And yeah, that's kind of the point of ARR, fighting the Empire. Or one of the points anyway. Kuroka, this is Minfilia. You are well, I hope? Would I be correct in thinking that the final Remembrance service is now concluded? A moment ago, you say? What a coincidence! Jesting aside, I trust you remember our guests from the Grand Companies. Well, delighted though we are to have them here at the Waking Sands, it would not do to keep them in suspense any longer than necessary. In short, hurry back. Alright, well, we will be keeping them waiting a while because I am hungry. Alright, it's been fun, but that is actually a very good stopping point. Next time I stream, I will be getting my jobstone because it's time to be a Dragoon. We will be choosing a Grand Company, we'll be getting our Chocobo finally, and we will be continuing with the MSQ. Until then, I hope everybody has a good evening. Good night.